All right, this is video 1 for the Unit 4 study guide. And the first part of this is to classify each triangle by its angles and sides, which means that each one of them should have two names. It should have a side name and an angle name. So the first triangle is triangle ABE. That is this triangle outlined in pink right here, ABE. And let's first classify it by its angles. So remember, you can either have an acute, obtuse, or right triangle. And because of this box in the angle, this is a right triangle. And now let's look at its sides. Remember, the sides could be scalene with no equal sides, isosceles with 2 equal sides, or equilateral with 3 equal sides. Notice how this triangle doesn't have any of the sides that are marked as congruent, which means none of them are equal to each other, which makes this a right scalene triangle. Okay, take a look at the next one. The next one is BEC, and BEC is outlined here in orange. All right, take a look at that triangle and see if you can figure out what type of triangle this is. Okay, hopefully you saw that all three of these angles are less than 90 degrees, so this is an acute triangle. And then if you take a look at the side lengths, notice how this side is 7 and how this side is 5 right there and 2 right there, so this side is also 7. Since both of those sides are 7, there are 2 equal sides. This is an acute isosceles triangle. All right. The next triangle here is triangle DEF, outlined in blue. What type of triangle is this triangle? This should have been the easy one because all three of the sides are marked as congruent, and if there's 3 equal sides, there's also 3 equal angles, which means that this one is equiangular and equilateral. And finally, triangle CDF is this little triangle right here in the corner, CDF. What type of triangle is CDF? Hopefully you saw that this angle right here at F is an obtuse angle, which makes this an obtuse triangle, and none of the sides are marked as congruent to each other, so this is an obtuse scalene triangle. All right, notice that I'm allowing you to omit number 2. We are not dealing with the coordinate plane in this unit, so you can omit number 2. And we'll go down to topic 2 on angles of triangles. Okay, the golden rule of triangles is that all 3 of the angles inside must add up to be 180 degrees, and that is what we will focus on here. If I can get this thing to be straight. There we go. All right. So let's find angle 1 first. Notice how angle 1 makes a straight line with this 88 degrees. So angle 1 is going to be 180 minus 88 degrees, and that gives us 92 degrees. So angle 1 is 92 degrees. All right, let's take a look at another angle that we can find. If that one is 92, that one is 81. Notice how that you have this line is parallel to this line, and you know that from these little arrows that are on the lines. Those 2 lines are parallel, which means that this angle 3 right here is congruent to this angle 64 because they are corresponding angles. All right, so angle 3 is equal to 64 degrees as well. Now that you know that angle 3 is 64 degrees, you can find angle 2 because you have the other 2 angles in the triangle. So this would be 180 minus 92 plus 64, and that's 156. So angle 2 is 24 degrees. All right, now for angle 4, we know that angles 3 and the 81 and the 4 all make a straight line. So all 3 of these angles added together should equal 180. So we do 180 minus 64 plus 81. And 64 plus 81 is 145. So that makes angle 4 35 degrees. All right, now that we know that angle 4 is 35 degrees, we can find angle 5 because we have the other 2 angles in the triangle. So we do 180 minus 35 plus 64. That gives us 99. So angle 5 is 81 degrees. All right, let's go on to number 4. All right, for number 4, we have several different things going on here. First of all, notice that 115 is vertical to angle 4. So if 115 is vertical to angle 4, that makes angle 4 115 degrees. All right. Also notice how 115 and angle 2 make a straight line, which means that 2 and 115 should add up to be 180 degrees. So 180 minus 115 gives us 65 for angle 2. And angle 2 and angle 5 are vertical to each other. So if 2 is 65, angle 5 also has to be 65 degrees. All right, so I'm going to write some things in here that we have now. All right, so now that we know that angle 2 is 65 degrees, we have 80 and 65, so we can find angle 1. So we're going to do 180 minus 80 plus 65. 80 plus 65 is 145, and 180 minus 145 is 35. So angle 1 is 35 degrees. All right, we can also find angle 7 here because all 4 of these angles in this quadrilateral have to add up to be 360, and this one is 90. So we do 360 minus 65 plus 61 plus 90, and that is 126 plus 90 is 216. 65 plus 61 plus 90 is 216, and 360 minus 216 is 144. So angle 7 is 144. Now that we know angle 7, we can figure out angle 6 because those make a straight line. So to find angle 6, we do 180 minus 144, and that gives us 36 degrees for angle 6. And now that angle 6 is 36 degrees, we can find out what angle 3 is because we have the other 2 angles in that triangle. So 115 plus 36 is 151, and 180 minus 151 is 29 degrees. And that is number 4. All right, let's go to number 5. So again, with number 5, you know that all 3 of the angles in the triangle must add up to be 180 degrees, which means all 3 of these angles have to add up to be 180. So I'm going to add them together and set them equal to 180. So 8x minus 35 plus 6x minus 5 plus 3x minus 1 equals 180. I'm going to combine my like terms. 8x plus 6x plus 3x is 17x. And then minus 35 minus 5 minus 1 is minus 41 equals 180. And what do you get here when you solve for x? Hopefully you did 180 plus 41 and got 17x equals 221. And then you divided by 17 and you got that x was equal to 13. All right, now let's do the next one. So you'll remember that when you have an outside angle, it is equal to the remote 2 inside angles added together. So this angle, 11x minus 63, is equal to these 2 angles added together. So 5x minus 11 plus 2x plus 20 equals 11x minus 63. Combine my like terms. 5x plus 2x is 7x. Negative 11 plus 20 is plus 9 equals 11x minus 63. Go ahead and finish this up and solve for x for me. All right, you should have subtracted 7x from both sides, and you would have gotten 9 equals 4x minus 63. Added 63 to both sides, and 72 equals 4x divided by 4, and x equals 18. All right, moving right along. We should be on page 35 of the study guide now. 35. Oh, there it is. All right, again with number 7. Number 7 is all three of these angles have to add up to be 180 degrees. So we add them all together and set them equal to 180. So we have 3x minus 4 plus 9x plus 17 plus 6x minus 31 equals 180 degrees. Go ahead and solve that out for x. Find x and then plug that back in and find the measure of angle A. So we should combine like terms. 3x plus 9x plus 6x is 18x. Minus 4 plus 17 minus 31 is negative 18 equals 180. Add 18 to both sides. 18x equals 198. And divide by 18, x equals 11. All right, we're not done yet. It wants the measure of angle A, so we plug that back into angle A. So angle A equals 9 times 11 plus 17. So angle A is 116 degrees. All right, take a look at number 8. Again, we have the outside angle, and the outside angle is equal to the remote two inside angles added together. So that means that 5x minus 27 plus 7x minus 26 is equal to 10x minus 23. Go ahead and find what x is, plug it back in, and find the measure of angle A. So you should have done 5x plus 7x is 12x. Negative 27 and negative 26 makes negative 53 equals 10x minus 23. Subtract 10x from both sides, and you get 2x equals, add 53 to both sides, is equal to 30. So x is equal to 15, but we're not done yet. We have to plug that back in for A. So angle A equals 5 times 15 minus 27. So 5 times 15 minus 27 is 48 degrees. Moving along, we have isosceles and equilateral triangles next. And I don't think we did this. No, we are going to omit topic 3. Omit topic 3. Omit the whole topic. Just draw a big candy cane right there because Christmas. That's a pretty crappy candy cane, but it'll do. There. Omit topic 3. Go to page 36. And again, this is 16 and 17 are still part of topic on equilateral and isosceles triangles. We're going to go down to topic 4 on congruent triangles. And we're going to go ahead and take care of the rest of this page on this video, and we will do the proofs on the next video. So let's take a look at 18. 18 asks you to write 3 valid congruency statements given the triangles below. When it asks you to write congruency statements, it's asking for the triangles in order, in corresponding order. So triangle PQR is congruent to triangle. If I go P to Q to R, I went from 2 marks to 1 mark to 3 marks. So I need to go 2, 1, 3. So 2 is U, 1 is T, and 3 is S, so UTS. Those are the pieces that correspond together. So what would the correct congruency statement be for QRP? QRP. QRP is congruent to TSU. And what would the congruency statement be for PRQ? PRQ. PRQ would be UST. And that's what it's asking for when it asks you to do congruency statements. All right. Now, number 19 is for corresponding parts. This is where you match where the letters are. So what side is congruent to KL? Okay, hopefully you put AM. What side is congruent to AC? Hopefully you put KP. And to PL? Hopefully you put CM. And to angle P? Angle C. And to angle K? Angle A. And to angle M? Angle L. All right. In number 20, it gives you some degrees and some side measurements, and it wants you to find the rest of the triangle. So, using the corresponding parts in the name. So, JI. JI corresponds to XY. And we can see that XY, JI corresponds to XY. And we can see that XY is 16, so that means that JI has to be 16 meters as well. Okay, JH. JH corresponds to XW, JH to XW, and since XW is 15 meters, that means that JH has to be 15 meters as well. Okay, the measure of angle W. Angle W corresponds to angle H. So since H is 37 degrees, angle W has to be 37 degrees as well. Angle J corresponds to angle X. And notice that angle X is 114 degrees, so angle J has to be 114 degrees also. And then angle I corresponds to angle Y, and we don't have any information about either one of those, but we do have the other two degree measures. We have 37 and 114. So if we do 180 minus 114 plus 37, we should get 29 degrees for angle I. All right, so 21. Which are the methods to prove that triangles are congruent? This, I just want you to list out those triangle congruency methods that we've talked about. So choose the one that does not fit. Which one of the following is not a triangle congruence method? Choose all that apply. There should be 2 of them. So the ways that we can prove that triangles are congruent are side, 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 angle, side, angle, side, angle, 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 side, and hypotenuse, leg. Angle, angle, angle is not a congruence method. Side, side, angle is not a congruence method. So hopefully those are the 2 that you chose that do not fit. All right, last but not least on this video, let's talk about part A. Take a look at A. You have an angle, another angle, and the side in between them that is congruent. So since the congruent side touches both of the angles, this is angle, side, angle. What would B be? Hopefully you see that this shared side in the middle becomes the third side that is congruent by side, side, side. What would C be? C is not congruent because even though you have vertical angles right there, it does not fall under side, angle, side because the angle is not in the middle of the 2 sides. So this one is not congruent. Finally, D. Notice how we have a right triangle and we have the hypotenuse is congruent and we have the leg that is congruent. So these are congruent by hypotenuse, leg. And on to video 2.